Hello, my name is Jessica Werner. Thank you for joining me today for the fourth and final Stamparatus technique video. Today we're going to talk about stamping on pre-cut pieces. You can use this technique with both punches and dies. Today I have 3 examples to show you. The Stamparatus was designed to help with precision placements and creating multiples. This technique is great whether you're stamping 1 or 30 projects. You may be having friends and family over to stamp, and this technique will allow all of you to stamp quickly and precisely every time. You can pre-cut all your die and punch pieces ahead of time, creating a simple and fun experience for you and your friends. I'm going to get started today with the Truly Tailored Tag Punch and the Truly Tailored Stamp Set, and we're going to be using this sentiment right here to a classy kind of guy. For this project, I'm not going to use the foam because it is a red rubber stamp set. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a template. So I've created a template with just a card front size sheet of paper. I've pre-punched it with the punch, and I've written template on my template so that I don't accidentally throw it away. And the reason I've done it on a larger sheet of paper is so that you're a little bit away from the hinge and you're not going to need as much pressure when you're stamping. The next thing you're going to want to do is pre-punch all of your tag shapes. It's great to punch them in advance because you'll get more use out of your cardstock. So I've punched out as many tags as I need for my projects. Next, you'll want to line up your stamp with the negative shape on your template. With red rubber, this can take 1 or 2 tries. I'd recommend starting with some scratch paper so that you get the stamp lined up perfectly. I've put some grid paper underneath the template so that I can position the stamp and then practice stamping once and make sure that it's lined up perfectly in the template. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the stamp with the plate. I'm going to be inking it up with some Night of Navy. Okay, so I'm going to test it out and see if I have the stamp in the right position. And the stamp is exactly where I want it. So now I'm going to add in my pre-cut piece right in the template. You're going to ink up your stamp. Now you have your perfect tag shape. And it's so easy to do multiple of these. Just go ahead and keep placing your blank tag shapes in the template, and you can stamp repeatedly. Here's the final card. I've used some True Gentleman Designer Series paper to dress it up. This technique is so simple and so fun. For the next project, I'm going to be using Foxy Friends and the Fox Builder Punch. This punch can be a little tricky to align your stamps with because all of the stamp pieces are spread out. Again, I started by creating a template using the negative of the Fox Builder Punch, and I've made it on a card front size sheet of paper. Since Foxy Friends is a photopolymer stamp set, it's easier to align than red rubber, and I've already gone ahead and pre-mounted my stamps on the plates. This time I'm using 2 plates. I've mounted the head, tail, and body on the fox on one plate, and then on the top plate I have the feet, the tail details, and the details on the face as well. I'm actually going to be building a raccoon with this stamp set, and so we're going to be using Smoky Slate and Basic Gray. So I'm going to start by inking up the first plate in Smoky Slate. And putting in my pre-cut pieces. So now go ahead and stamp. Make sure to apply even pressure on top of all of the stamps, just like you would with a block. Some pieces may stick onto the stamps, and that's okay. Just lightly take them off and put them back in place. Next, you're going to stamp the details in Basic Gray. And again, you're just going to close your plate, apply nice even pressure, and then lift. So now you have perfectly stamped fox pieces, and your stamps are already aligned on the plates. So it's really simple to put in new blank pieces and repeat the process. Here's the finished project. I did, after I was done with the Stamparatus, add the detail of the face with the block, and I've dressed it up with stitch shapes and the tree ring background stamp. On my third project, I wanted to show how this technique translates when using dies. I have used the Sweet and Sassy framelits and the Lots of Lovely stamp set. First, you'll create a template, and I've used about a 5 by 5 inch piece of cardstock. Hold it in place with a magnet. I've pre-die cut out my hearts. You're going to go ahead and place it in the template. We're going to be using the Sending Lots of Love stamp, and you're going to line it up where you want it on your project. With this stamp, you'll notice that the sentiment bleeds a little bit over the cut heart, and that's okay. That's a great thing about the template. It's going to catch that extra ink so it doesn't get on the base of your tool. Now go ahead and pick up the stamp. You're going to ink it up with Calypso Coral. Press down, applying even pressure. And now you have your sentiment in the perfect place. And again, it's so easy to put in your next blank heart and repeat the process. Here's my finished sample, and I've actually dressed this up a little bit with some white embossing powder, but it's still really gorgeous with your Calypso Coral ink. And I have also used a Textured Impressions folder on the back and just loosely watercolored on top of the pattern to add some detail. The Stamparatus is so great when you're creating multiples and when you need precision for your projects. Whether your projects utilize a punch or a die, you can find efficiencies by preparing pre-cut pieces in advance and using a template. We hope you have enjoyed all 4 of our Stamparatus technique videos. We sure have enjoyed showing you all of the features of the tool. Order your Stamparatus through your demonstrator or on StampiNUp.com.